Hey, friends and family of Trevor. My name is Dax Pearson, and um, I knew Trevor only a month and a half. I met him the week after he arrived here. Um, and I'm a musician as well, and he and I started making some music together. I even gave him this electronic drum pad to use, which he was reluctant about when speaking over the phone, but when he finally had his hands on it, he was convinced that he could do something creative with it, and that made me really happy. After hanging out with Trevor a couple of times, he expressed that he takes pain pills and he likes drinking alcohol with them. And, that I could tell um, that there was something going on with him, that he had a lot of demons, but he also had a lot of light, and he was really, really struggling to look for consistent happiness. That's kind of the impression that I got from him. Um, but I really liked spending time with him. And last time I spoke to him, it was this past Thursday, um, which was um, the day before he passed, or at least the day before his hard day, I should say. Um, he was in fairly good spirits. Um, he talked to me about meeting people at the Burning Man Sextent camp, and how they were doing this zip line, and how he had done this drop from the zip line, and he was the first disabled person that had done something like that at Burning Man. And he was really excited to meet those people. And he did express some issues he had had about traveling to and from Burning Man, and um, some of that. But he was optimistic about going next year, and it's been my plan to go in 2016 as well. He had also expressed to me the difficulties he was having getting a medical support team together, and also finding caregivers. And it is very difficult to find caregivers here. Um, I mean, it could be worse in other places. And it is true that there are a lot of disabled people here, but there are less people here that are available to help and to be hired. So he was having a really hard time with that. I know that he did have one caregiver that was helping him for a little bit, and then they quit all of a sudden. So I know that that had to be another difficulty and challenge for him. He also spoke to me about feeling let down by friends in Colorado and Florida. And but by his explanations from it, I think he was just feeling lonely and wasn't able to reach out as much for some reason. And honestly, I think that that reason has to do with some skewed judgment by taking an excess of pain pills and alcohol, because that can really screw your head up. Um, and so I definitely wouldn't fault any of his friends from the other places that he's lived. I think that he was just feeling extremely lonely, and maybe he was having a hard time expressing it. Um, I don't know. He's left us with a lot of questions. But one thing I believe for sure is that when he did drift off to sleep, that he did feel that his life was saved. And I know that's bringing up a lot of questions, but the last person that spoke to him is Torrey Pine Smith, who is the man who created the 50-foot zip line in Burning Man, at Burning Man. And he was able to speak to him after he had taken these pills, although Trevor had expressed that he was going to take more in order to kill himself. And what I have heard from Torrey after speaking to him, um, he said that, it sounded like Torrey had talked Trevor out of taking any more pills, but it also sounded like it was too late because Trevor told Torrey, "Man, you just saved my life. You just reached me just in time." And then he drifted off, which means it was too late. And evidently there was no one around to keep him awake. The other sad part of this is Torrey did not have an address for Trevor. And when Torrey called 911, all he had was a cell phone number. And it just took a while for 911 to locate where Trevor was by using GPS. By the time they found him, he was gone. But overall, I don't think that he committed suicide. I think he took too many pills, was feeling really depressed, was expressing it on Facebook, yet it was a little incoherent. And he drifted off. It also sounds like the Burning Man people that he was hanging out with that Friday night before taking all the pills sounded like he had a great time, but it also sounds like he didn't express that he needed some help getting in his van. And if he had been drinking a bit, he may have had an even harder time getting into the van. And in the Bay Area, there are a lot of independent people with spinal cord injury, especially paraplegics who usually do everything to take care of themselves. And I don't think that the Burning Man crew understood how new of an injury he had and what he could and could not do. And it sounds like he just didn't ask for assistance and maybe assumed that someone was going to ask him if he needed assistance. And that must have made him feel really, really bad and isolated when he got home. I know that Torrey, like I said, posted that he was looking for Trevor's address. And the two or three of us that did have his address by, for some reason, just were not on Facebook at that time and did not know what was going on. But it was after 2 in the morning, and we all just missed it. And I can speak for myself and the other people that found out about his death here that did have his address, that we all feel absolutely terrible that we weren't able to help save him. Um, I hope that this gives um, his other friends a better sense of closure. Um, I don't believe it was suicide. I believe it was an accidental overdose that started out as an intentional suicide, but it was too late when he drifted off. So it's rough. Um, I felt like I lost a new good friend, someone that I could collaborate on music with, and we both felt like we could help each other get through our issues together. And I'm just sorry that we weren't able to help each other more. And I can only imagine that he's on a journey now, the ultimate journey, and he's in a lot less pain. Thanks.